Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to this quick presentation, and I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting us. It is a great pleasure to be part of the global PropTech. And we are here today because, as everybody else, we're trying to figure out how to fight this COVID-19 crisis, lockdown, and how to help really with our technology. Because currently, obviously, everybody is looking for PropTech solutions, and we are one of such PropTech solutions. We started the company 2 years ago with some of the biggest developers in the real estate industry in the US, and we have a mixed European and US team. So Ocular is our portal where you can upload 3D models, where you can get from those AR experience very quickly. So we've developed an algorithm that helps you to basically get the experience of, we say, unified perspective. So without further ado, I'd like to show you a few examples of what we've done. So it's really that simple. We help by providing a tool that on the website, you can upload a 3D model, any 3D model, and you can get an AR experience. You can get an AR walkthrough of a building. So what that is, I'll show you just now. This is from one of our customers, a major architecture group that designed some of the tallest buildings in the world. This is on the 5th Avenue. And this is a result. This skyscraper is not there, right? This is a virtual image overimposed onto reality. That's what AR is. And so this is a result really of a half an hour work. Half an hour, the architect uploaded the 3D model that they were playing with, and we got out into the streets just outside their office, and we tested it on the site where this building is supposed to be located. Right, so that's more of a conceptual rendering where you can communicate with your stakeholders by sharing easily and showing how your AR 3D model will look like, and letting people walk around and really get the perception, not only of the massing of the building, but also of the reflections, the materials, the light conditions inside, and actually the interiors as well. So this is how we've built the platform. The request from the industry starting 2 years back was, can you do something to replace the renderings? Can you do something that will allow us to work with less physical mockups, but something that will not cost that much, right? Cost is always of essence. And so we've worked hard for 2 years to actually design the tool, which allows you to do exactly that. It's cloud-based, it's a free app, it's easy to share, and you can really walk through and communicate your 3D models. Some of the work we've done before the crisis was really big, fancy visualizations. So to give you an example, I think our biggest project was Crystal City, the next headquarters of Amazon in the United States, right next to the Pentagon building. Crystal City, there's dozens of buildings that this project encompasses. And they've built this beautiful marketing center where people can walk with the investors. There are many groups of investors involved in the project. This was the biggest real estate transaction in the US in 2018. And so we visualized this marketing center such you actually can walk through this map. And as you walk through, play the quick video here, you will have the buildings there, and you're in this King Kong mode, and you can actually inspect the buildings, you can check the view, you can check how people can get from the airport through a pedestrian bridge over to the campus of the future Amazon headquarters. So this was the kind of presentation that was really at its peak, showing really the potential of this technology back last year. Now, the needs have changed a little bit, right? You cannot call people into your marketing center anymore you need to fight for different kind of tenants, and you really need to impress every customer on every phone call. So what we started increasingly doing is creating smaller content, smaller pieces of tailored content, which is really speaking to your customer. For example, from the office perspective, so one of our customers in Europe, where this building is not there yet, they wanted to show it to a potential tenant, and they wanted to show it personalized. They wanted to show all the amenities. And so this was basically a one-day work before the presentation, and it's just a great way to start your video conference with the tenant, and it shows how you can, how hard you work to actually impress them, right? And so as you can see, you have the insights, you've got the view from the office, just using your AR 3D model. Similarly for industrial. Industrial is a huge sector which is on the rise, and there's a lot of buildings, a lot of brownfield conversions, a lot of greenfield developments, and this is shooting for local TV. This was used to actually persuade the stakeholders to approve the project, right? So this is one of the examples where we helped the developer to paint the picture interactively on how this will look like. And this is especially important when people cannot go on site. You can create these videos, you can create this kind of content and get a fairly good idea and understanding how such a project will help the community, right? So this is really civic engagement at its best. It's showing all the offices, it's showing the solar panels, it's showing the smartness of the building, I'd say. And we're very proud to work with this company and other companies in the region to help them promote these projects in a very, I'd say, affordable and inexpensive way, which is essential for this new normal, right? So you want to be able to show tailored, quick content instead of the fleshy renderings that we were maybe used to in the past years. And obviously, you can look at it from every angle. You can look at it from every angle. You can make decisions, value engineering decisions based on this. We had a customer in the US which decided on a type of a material on the facade and saved hundreds of thousands of dollars by basically showing to the architects and to the engineers and to the stakeholders how the facade element would look like. And increasingly, with the new normal, we're talking to windows, door, and other building products manufacturers, right? We're working with one of the biggest door and window manufacturers in the US, which is selling. They're currently testing this, right? But the idea is to sell through AR. Basically by just sharing a 3D model with the potential customer. Because currently, or before this lockdown, people were walking in, they had appointments, and they would walk in with physical samples of the building, of the door or window, several physical samples, and then they would attach those to the actual facade, and they would see how it looks like. They would take pictures, they would measure, they would remeasure. What we've done here, and this is my dog, Ambro, what we've done here is we created and implemented a measuring tool which shows you how big the AR model of this door actually looks like, right? So you can position it right where you're supposed to. And what they're doing is, they're reducing their sales staff and they're increasing their so-called virtual visits, right? So virtual consultations or visits are about choosing the right style and also assisting via just dialing in, assisting with the measurements, and then taking pictures and leaving this as a great leave behind, saying, well, it's yours now. Here's how you log in. This is your door and window, and would you please wait for 2-3 weeks and we'll just send it over to you with the installation crew. So this is helping tremendously, and it's a big industry that needs help. That is not, it doesn't come to mind as a first thing when you think of PropTech, but this is really helping out on the ground. Sorry. So another thing that we worked with the industry on is how we can help in the field. People are coming back on the construction sites, and there are limitations on how many people can be at the site at every moment in time. So we are supporting that by not only visualizing which zones can have how many people, but also by assisting remote visual inspections. Just to show you an example, this is a gas flare being installed, and it's being laid out in its true size, true scale, where it's supposed to be connected, right? And you can see clearly if there is any conflict, or if indeed you need to move it to prevent the conflict. So this is just a quick example of some of the more technical use cases that we're supporting in the construction. So crews are actually working with the tool to lay out stuff with the AR to track the progress as they have their elapsed time to construction and elements of construction they're supposed to be seeing physically. But then obviously, if you are able to overimpose the 3D model onto the site, you are able to also see what is there physically versus what is supposed to be there, right? So what we do is we offer now free service, which is typically a premium service, but we give it out for free, and that's that we dial in with the customers, and we help them for every presentation that they request. We help them to set everything up, make sure the QR codes or the GPS that we're using are set up properly, that what they see is truly true to the scale, and that there is no hassle. Because what is most important for the crew members and for the field engineers is to be sure that when they are on site and somebody else is watching, either through a video link or through a any kind of remote presentation or conversation tool, that everything is right. Because you've got stakeholders. If you actually manage that meeting, you need to show as much as possible, and you need to record as much footage as possible. And that brings me to modular. Modular construction is obviously at the hype. We have a lot of customers in Asia and throughout the US increasingly, which require support with assembling modular buildings. One of our customers is Full Stack Modular, which is a Brooklyn, New York-based company, which have built first high-rise out of modular units in the United States, much like these. So as an example, I'm showing you here how you can create an animation which will show the installers how to put those units on top of each other and how to create that building. So this is a very simplistic example. But the important thing is that it's so precise that you can actually connect these pipes. And so all your MEP or mechanical engineering piping, electrical piping is there, connecting precisely so that you can create a very smooth process on site. Because again, you don't want any mishaps while you are on site. Obviously, before you get into construction, you can use it for conceptualizing your building. So you have your basic units, you can put them right next to each other and create this building in AR. For instance, if you are presenting it to the public or potential customers. But then it's got also this practical use where it actually shows you details of how those components connect. And again, it's very, very precise. For some of the, and this is really getting technical, but for some of the more technical uses, we're looking at cabling and installations, which are being supported by AR in real size. You can see under the floor, and you can also change what you see in the AR. So you've got your 3D, let's say Revit model or IFC, and you are helping the installers to avoid the physical inspections from the contractor, right? Because if you install something and you take a picture comparing, or video just like this, comparing how your 3D model is exactly the same as it's being built, so the as is state is the same as the 3D, you are saving a lot of back and forth, and obviously any changes into your 3D model. So that's also useful for maintenance purposes in the future. So this is just a video that we created with our customer. We got awarded at the NeoCon conference last year. It was very well perceived by the judges, and is being deployed across the United States with free access, which is a premium raised floor vendor that gives you also the ability to install all of your electricity data and other infrastructure, and also change that very flexibly. And obviously, change in these times is a great asset. If you are able to adapt to change quickly, that improves your return on investment on these assets. So we've had very good feedback from the installers as well as from the actual customers of free access.
The app effectively creates an X-ray view showing users their grid system beneath the floor covering without ever moving a muscle.
I don't know if you can hear the sound of the video, but basically what I just described is pretty much what this was saying.
Of all power tracks and IT cable runs under the carpet removes guesswork and unnecessary labor, saving time and money.
So I've shown a number of examples of how augmented reality can be used in the field. To summarize, it's really on one side helping to create tailored content for real estate developers, leasing managers, and people are trying to show spaces, unfinished spaces, particularly where you can actually change or adapt to customer needs, but without the need to actually bring them on site and to try to explain how it's going to look like. So and obviously with that, you can increase your online presence, right? And online presence is a predicament of good business at the moment. On the other hand, when you are in construction on site, you can actually work with the teams to create a much better picture of what is happening versus what is planned to be happening. And that is very important, especially as you are decreasing the amount of steps that need to be taken in terms of communication back and forth. So your teams need to be as equipped as possible with the most information and no ambiguity, right? And this is what we provide very easily by simply pushing this down to your phone or tablet. This works on any device capable of AR. So, most of the newer phones or latest phone, let's say, 2-3 years back, support augmented reality. It's a free app. It's so you can just download it from the App Store. Anybody can have it, and you can share within the teams. So yeah, this is in a nutshell what I wanted to share today. This is how we are trying to help the industry. We also provide that free support that I mentioned. That is for the companies that have issues, which is a lot obviously nowadays, have issues of getting people, all of the people out safely onto the site, or to actually host visits on site by customers or potential customers. And so we are helping to diversify the communication mix and to do things more efficiently. I'd like to pause here and see if there are any questions, and if not, I have more videos and content that I can show you.
Thank you, Martin. For the attendees, please, if you have any questions for Martin, please write them in the Q&A box. That's at the lower right hand of your screen. We'll give a few minutes for people to write in their questions. Okay. While we're waiting, I do have a question for you, Martin. Looking at the construction industry, what would you say is the level of acceptance and rate of uptake with contractors for the type of solution that you're providing? Are they happy with it? Do they find that it's something that they're trying to use, that they're moving in that direction?
Yep. Yeah. Very much so. I'd say so. I've seen few statistics on this, and last year, October, November, about 15-20% of the general contractors were using some sort of augmented reality or 3D imaging on site. And about 50 or 60% were considering to deploy it in the next 2 years. Now, in the past 6-8 weeks, we've seen a tremendous surge in demand for these kind of services. Mm-hmm. So I think this will accelerate a lot the uptake of augmented reality and visualization of the BIM in the field, be it through AR such as ours with tablets or phones, or be it through the devices such as the HoloLens or the Magic Leap. There are a number of solutions for that as well. Obviously, the difference is that with the HoloLens or some of the mixed reality goggles, you cannot see the whole thing. You have a radius of X amount of meters that you can see in front of you, and obviously the field of view is quite narrow, but it's much more detailed, and you can have because it's also scanning the whole environment. You can have a lot of detailed and very accurate kind of inspection of particular things such as valves and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. We do have some questions that have come in, and the first one here, does Ocular plug into Procore?
Not at the moment. We are discussing with a number of providers integrations, and we have 3 or 4 platforms that we're talking to at the moment. Currently, it would be basically just an upload to our website. It's very, very simple. Yes, indeed, in the future, we want to make it such that you export from whatever system you are working in, and that you are able to just push it into our platform. Currently, before we have all those integrations in place, you are required to actually just drag and drop the file onto our portal.
One thing, do you have a live use case where sensors show their readings in the projected AR view, or a facility management route planning option for service engineers?
Yeah, we have a number of projects like that. Yeah.
And how do you differentiate from other AR tool companies? What's your competitive edge?
Well, we are very quick and easy. We are basically a company that does one thing and does it well, and that is the visualization. So there are no bells and whistles. We take a 3D file and we upload it to the portal, and it lands in your phone or tablet. Mm-hmm. So it's extremely lean. It's quick. It's simple to use. The app is very friendly, and friendly to use, I'd say, and that's what we specialize in, right?
Mhm.
It's also very affordable and quick. There is really just the upload and the conversion, and then you have it. In addition to that, there's one specific feature that's different from anything else, and that is our geolocation. So when you go into our geolocation mode, you can place the real size 3D object onto your site. You basically just drag and drop it on the map. And when you are there, you open your phone and you create that full size live experience. Nobody else does that at the moment that we are aware of.
Perfect. And we have time we have had a lot of congratulations coming in, and there are some people who are asking for introductions, which we'll follow up with that offline after this. We do have another question here. Well, there's one. What kind of customers have recorded the most increased demand recently?
It's the construction.
Yeah.
It's the construction in the field, because that's, they really need. I mean, we had a lot of demand from real estate developers historically, and I think everybody kind of knew that this is coming, and that you need to communicate in innovative ways, and obviously this has just speeded up the whole process. But the construction sector wasn't that innovative up until 8 weeks ago. I mean, obviously there are companies that are very, very innovative, and they were innovative in the past as well. But we see really that shift from what I mentioned, the 10-11% to 50-60%. We see that and we feel that.
Perfect. And final question for today. From my understanding, you can upload one model. Is there a way to toggle layers? For example, show HVAC systems and plumbing while walking on site?
Yes, there is. The basic version will give you one model, and that's what you get. Obviously, we work with companies to also layer it, so you would have your 3D model, and this may get a bit more technical, but you basically create versions of the 3D model with the layers, and then you just toggle different layers on and off as needed when you are on site. So while you are looking at something, you only see HVAC, and then you want to add the electrical system. So you just click, you add the electrical systems on top of that, for instance, for conflict identification.